Hello and welcome to a new edition of Shawn on the Sidelines. We are hosting for today. I am Chase Wilkinson.
And I am Declan Wieners here with the star of the show in the heart of the school, Mr. Shawn Klenk. Today's date is November 3rd. We're going over our 5th episode and we're going over fall sports as they come to the end of their seasons. And after, we will be interviewing Coach Mr. Jason Howe.
More from them in a moment. But let's start with the progress of our fall sports and how they've been doing going into the end of their season and their 2025 campaign. We're going to start off with what else but the conference champs, our football team. So they had a good schedule. Unfortunate loss, but I mean, they killed it all year. Like, nobody was expecting this, but they knew deep down, I think they knew they were going to do this. Shawn, how are you feeling about this season from them?
Yeah, it was an incredible season. I'm really happy for the players. I mean, the progress over the last 4 years. These seniors, as they were freshmen, we went through a tough schedule, and they were really taking their lumps. And to see them come out on the, on the winning end and a 9-1 schedule is great. It's interesting. I think we've scored the third most points in program's history and gave up the second fewest in the last 40 years. I'm not a math major, but I think that's a pretty good indicator for success. So
that is a pretty good indicator.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good. But let's go over to our final standings here. So we finished first overall, 9-1, which is like good. Division 6-0, which is like, nobody in our division can guard us basically.
Killed them.
We only allowed 72 points.
Yeah, we had great success during the season, and the heart of our team was underclassmen, so stepping up. So a lot of them are going to be returning for next year. So it's going to be a really exciting step forward. We see where our schedule lands for next year. A lot of improvement within the teams. Shout out. There's several people who made first team all conference or first team all division. Mr. Shawn will be talking that later. Because I think that official announcement doesn't come out till tomorrow. So.
Yeah.
We can head over to our team leaders. We have Gary he did get his 1,000 yards. I know last show we touched up on that, if he was going to get those 90-something yards, but he did, and he killed it over the season. Jermaine Stewart, I mean, he's a beast. Like, I was listening into the broadcast the other day, and they're within the 5-yard line, and Mr. Strauss was like, "This is Jermaine Stewart area." Like, once you're in the 5-yard line, like, nobody's stopping him. He's a beast.
Yeah, I know against Holy Cross, he had an amazing play on Holy Cross. He ran some kid over, just went straight into that touchdown.
Exactly.
His ability to stay locked in from play to play really makes him stand out amongst the division leaders and amongst the conference. Is able to rise to the occasion when they need him the most. Is really, really what sets them apart from everybody else.
What are you seeing from this team next year?
We got a lot of returning. I think the strength of our team is the junior class. So have them coming back next year. We look to try to maintain that success. It's kind of funny because you could have a worse record, but probably make the playoffs next year and maybe make a deeper run into the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, after dominating this year's division, do you think we'll move up in a division?
Definitely. I think the success of this year is an indicator that we're probably playing down a level that we should be moving up. We should be moving up next year to a little bit of a harder schedule and a harder conference. Yeah.
Hopefully we get Overbrook.
Yeah.
Never lose to Overbrook. That's always what Sienna says.
All right, but speaking of football, we can switch it on over to Powder Puff. The big question: who do you think has it this year?
Well, we'll see we'll see how the Powder Puff breaks down and who actually decides to play or not. A lot of the girls are still on the fence about who's going to play, but it's always a good time and it's always fun. It's always fun to cheer on the girls, and a lot of them are varsity athletes in other sports. To see them have them step out and have a good time is always fun, and the kids. It's always a highlight of the season. And then also watching the guys be the cheerleaders, they really seem to take that by the neck and really go for it.
Well, everybody, you can tune into that Wednesday November 19th.
Juniors are winning. They're always going to win. Seniors have no chance. Got swamped last year by them.
But we can now switch it over. Speaking of Spear, we can go over to Spear Week. It's always a great time. I mean, I feel like the whole vibe of the school just joys, like, I feel like the vibe lightens up during Spear Week. You a big fan of any Spear Week activities?
Well, it's always festive. The kids always they get really involved. They really get into decorating the hallways, and they take a lot of pride and put a lot of effort into it. So it's always fun, and there's always a little bit more of a positive atmosphere coming around Spirit Week. It's a little bit different this year. Usually we have it leading up to the homecoming game, but the homecoming game is so early this year that it was kind of hard to have Spirit Week 3 weeks into the season.
Yeah.
4 weeks into the school year. So, so it's going to take a different slant this year, but the kids the students are always willing to be involved, and they always have a good time.
Yeah, as long as I've been here, the hallways always been great. Like last year, they were great.
Yeah.
I loved the hallways last year.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think we should have won that this year. Like, we killed it, but I mean, they really don't like freshmen. But let's look at these themes here. We got Monday Pajama Day. We got Tuesday Dress as your hallway theme. Wednesday Dress as your first initial.
Okay.
Thursday Throwback Day, and Friday Class Color or T-shirt. And it's also a pep rally on Friday, which that is always probably one of the funnest pep rallies of the year.
Yeah, it's usually fun because everybody's all hyped up from the Spirit Week to leading into it. But speaking as a parent of children who went through Spirit Week, it is the worst week for laundry in the history of parenting. You come down and all of a sudden it's like every day there's, they're wearing 2 or 3 outfits every single day, and you have a graduation gown and you have mismatched socks. You have everything going on during the week. So it's from the parent side of it, it's always fun to see the kids get involved. But when your kids are involved, you kind of shake your head sometimes. It's like, what do we do?
Should make them wash their laundry.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that. But let's switch it over to girls volleyball, where, I mean, they really had a turnaround season. The first little bit wasn't too bright, but wow, they really turned on the switch, and they're gonna have a great run in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, speaking of schedules, they moved to a different conference this year, and so they're playing a completely different schedule than they have in the past. And it took them a while to get their footing, but they have a playoff game today. We're playing Middle Township, so hopefully, speaking of existence, they're going to win against Middle Township.
Yes.
So we'll talk about the second round game when that comes up. But they're, I'm excited. They have a lot of returning players. They have everybody from all the majors. We missed 2 of the seniors from last year who graduated, but majority of the girls who are playing this year are returning players. So we're looking forward to success, and they've had that playoff experience. So let's hope last year's success carries into this year.
I believe that's a home game too, right?
It's a home game.
Yes, so everybody better
Come
be
on
there.
after the castle.
But speaking of players, let's go over to their stats, where we can look how they're doing. So we have Skylar Anderson. I mean, so many. That's 200 assists looking like there.
Yeah, she's our setter.
Yeah, that's insane.
Incredible amount of stats they've been putting up this season.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm seeing numbers all over the board. It's not all in one place. We're a well-rounded team this year. I'm seeing something this year.
Yeah, I mean, well-rounded team. Ariana is kind of our ace in a hole, and she scores from all over the court. A lot of times when you set up somebody for a kill shot, they have to be in the front row, but Ariana can score from anywhere on the court.
Yes.
So it's she's really a nice ace in the hole to have during the season.
We can swap it over to girls field hockey now, going outside the castle. Yeah. We can bring up their stats, see how they've been doing up in their season so far.
Speaking of Sayano on the sidelines, that's where he is today. He's actually on the sidelines of the girls' playoff game. They're playing Seneca today. So let's hope again. Let's hope by the time he's back here, he's talking about a victory against Seneca today.
Yeah, good luck to them.
Yeah. But let's speak to it. Coach Myers, it's a little bit hard to get used to because he got married during the year. So it was Coach Morello, now it's Coach Myers. they've really had a turnaround season. They had 10 wins this year, which is one of the highest totals in the program history. And considering where they were 2 or 3 years ago, similar to football, you're coming back. They had trouble fielding a whole team, and they would play a lot of times in the last couple of years, 8 against 11 or 7 against 7 against 10. So to have a full team and a full complement of the team is really a testament to her and the girls. Our freshman class is a very strong class. Lexi Johnson has been incredible this year, and she's one of those program type players.
We can talk about Lexi Johnson, their stat leader. So let's look at their stats here. We have Lexi Johnson, 15 goals, 6 assists. So she's not just a scorer; she's also an assister.
Oh no, she's a playmaker. And Amelia Champion is she actually plays kind of in the midfield and also. Was one of our top defenders, but she's also somebody who sets up a lot of goals. And then we also have Capri McKee, who's a senior who's been here through this 4 years, similar to the senior football player. She's seen the hard times, so it's really nice to see her enjoy the good times right now.
Yeah, speaking about the goals, Gracie West with 107 saves. I mean, that's an amazing number you can put up as a goalie.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about Lexi Johnson getting first team all conference. Like as a freshman too, there's a bright future with her.
Yeah, well deserved. I mean, she's one of the best players in the conference, and after every game, the opposing coaches are always saying like, "Who was that girl?" So they're very impressed, and she's already making her name known within the South Jersey ranks.
All right, so now we can go to their playoff bracket. So when they win today,
there you go. Woo. Speaking of existence.
Like that.
They're going to have some tough competition, but, I feel like this team, they have some gut with them. Like, they're a strong team. I see some.
Well, the nice part about field hockey is some of the hardest part of your schedule is just getting through the Colonial Conference. So Colonial Conference is some of the top teams, and the way field hockey is broken down, several of the teams are actually playing in Central Jersey. Wow. So you would have it. A couple of years ago, you had Haddon Heights was actually playing for a Central Jersey championship, and Audubon was playing for a South Jersey championship, and they're right next to each other. Wow. So you're really looking at a meat grinder for the regular season when they come out and play. So when you play outside of division for the playoffs, it's really not that different than they seem during the season. So they have that experience going for them because they're always playing that playoff caliber type game during the season.
Yeah. All right, now let's switch it on over to our boys soccer team, where they're going to have a big playoff game tomorrow home. But Egg Harbor, rough game, but, I think it was a good learning lesson.
Well, that was one of the coaches' tournament games that when they played Egg Harbor. So you got in the coaches' tournament, you went down there and played. We weren't exactly 100%. We have some kids just coming off injuries, and but they played on a turf field, and the other team was very skilled and very quick, and they can score goals. But going in this year, it's kind of hard to forget. But last year, going into the playoffs, our boys soccer team was only 7-5-5 going into the playoffs, so they were really only 2 games over 500. So. And we end up going on and winning a state championship. So when you look back, this year's record, I want to say we were 8-4.
Oh, yeah, we have.
So we're So when you go in there, it's a 11-7 record. So we actually have a better winning percentage going into the playoffs this year. So.
Yeah, helping that out, we have Jack Lewis coming up big, strong from JV last year. Coming from JV to going 2 goals, to some might not seem a lot, but 2 goals is that wins you a whole game right there. And then Connor, 8 goals, Kaz 7. We're just putting up numbers that I see something.
And again, you're looking at a lot of underclassmen there as well. Now Jack, moving up from the JV level, has been playing in the midfield and has been a strong defensive player as well. Ethan Wetzel was also on there, but he's actually missed 3/4 of the season because he's had an injury. So, and then we also have Wesley Reich, who's missed a good bit of the time, but he's returning for the playoffs. So keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully that's all going to be going to work out to be a good sign for the playoffs.
Yeah, Ethan always scooting around on his little scooter. He got a little foot scooter.
Yeah.
A little immobile. But we can bring off their playoff bracket too.
Yeah.
We got that up here.
Well, this is actually their standings here.
Yeah.
But they're second in the Liberty Conference. They're fighting for that first, but I mean, you don't need first to make a good run in the playoffs.
No, and again, when you bring Tyler on, he'll talk a little bit more about the defense. I was going to give a shout out to a couple of the defensive players, but he'll talk a little bit more in depth about that. But it's invaluable to have some of the kids on the defense. They're also going to be back next year, so it's going to be a nice returning defensive set as well. And all these guys have that experience of being on the team last year and going through that. Going through the highs of winning a state championship and kind of that refuse to lose mentality when it came to the playoffs. So you're hoping that will translate into a nice run this year.
Yeah.
It's always good to have team chemistry. I feel like around Sterling, every single sport just has team chemistry. Everybody hangs out with each other. Everybody knows each other. Like we all have that chemistry. It's good to play with each other.
Yeah. Now we can head over to our playoff bracket, where we are versing Medford Tech today, and I've been talking to all the players, and they've been talking about playing Haddonfield next round, but I don't know. I feel like this team if they play at their strongest, nobody's stopping them.
Sure. Well, similar to what I said with field hockey, if you look through and we progress through, the next couple of rounds are probably going to be Colonial Conference teams who we played twice already. So
exactly.
It's not going to be a situation where it's like, oh my goodness, we don't know this team. Most likely, and again, if everything goes to plan, you'll play Haddonfield. I think it's Saturday, and then if West Defford wins out there, then we'll play West Defford. And these are all teams we're very familiar with, we're very competitive with, and we've won games against them. So I mean, it's not an all-around possibility to make a nice little run again.
Yeah, we can switch it over to girls soccer now, see how they've been doing on their season. Their last game they tied against Ocean City 2-2, and then their next game is also the 4th against Collingswood. That should be a pretty good game too.
Yeah. We have a nice little back-to-back game day tomorrow. I know it's the girls' senior night, so I know they're all excited for that. Yeah,
they had a couple of rainouts last week because of the weather, and we were supposed to play last Thursday for the senior night, so now they're going to push it on until tomorrow. So they're going to have a game at 4:00 tomorrow, following the boys' game. So if you're a soccer fan, this is a great day to come out to Sterling High School.
Little fun fact: if everything goes according to plan, then it will be a Haddonfield versus Sterling matchup. The guys and the girls will both be playing Haddonfield.
Yeah.
I think the guys will be playing here and the girls will be playing there, but. Yeah. That would be a fun experience.
Sure. Well, that would be a great start to Spirit Week. Going against Haddonfield and really coming out and beating up on Haddonfield a little bit. But again, it's similar. Last year, the girls, we're kind of a victim of our own past recent success. If the girls had this type of season back in 2010, we'd be like, oh, the girls have a great season. They're really looking bright now. Because of the runs we made the last couple of years, you're a little disappointed with a team that has a winning record, and then they're going in as I think they're 5th or 6th seed in the playoffs at this point. So, but when you look back at historically, people have been around for a long time. They're having a really good season.
Yeah.
So, and again, Montgomery Graham might be the most talented player, girls or guys that we've had in a Sterling program.
Yeah, I mean, look at that, 17 goals,
And she's been injured for most of the year, and she scored 17 goals, and she's been somebody who's been the focus of other teams' defenses. So a lot of times they'll play her man up, or they'll double team her, and she's still been able to get some assists and get some other kids involved. We've had some nice stepping up from some freshmen. Who've been playing the majority of the time, and But I always tell them that, like, you're not freshmen anymore when you've been playing 40 minutes a game for, for 6 weeks. You're a sophomore come playoff time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's cross the finish line by finishing with what else but XC. I mean, this team, I see them out there every day, and this team, I think, is the definition of family. I see them always out there, smiles on their faces. Like, most people, when you think of, like, running, I feel like everybody thinks it's a job. Like, you gotta run, you gotta do this. But I think these people just see it as, like, a great time. Like,
See all these people, they all got their smiles on.
exactly.
Running
cross
90
country
miles.
it's a weird dichotomy. It's the easiest sport as far as learning curve because everybody knows how to run, but it's the hardest sport as far as getting down and working. So I mean, you have to get there and work, and the self-improvement aspect of it is really fantastic. I know Mr. Howell will come on and speak about the success of this past weekend, but we had one of our boys finish in the top 10, and we've had 3 finish in the top 25. We had 2 girls finish in the top 20, and they're both moving on the states. And Mr. Howell will speak a little bit more to their successes. And it's a great camaraderie with the cross country runners. And when you get the cross country runners, when they run together and they've gone out and you go on those long talks, they know everything about each other. So it's funny. You talk to them and they'll tell you about, they'll be able to tell about the person they're running with, like their cousin's wedding, like from 2 years ago, and they'll come down. There's a weird camaraderie there, but it's a camaraderie that lasts a lifetime. So it's a really neat sport.
Well, I know the guys and girls team both qualified for states. So.
Yes. Yeah, I believe the girls were 3rd in South Jersey, and the boys are 4th. So they both move on to Homedale, which is one of the most challenging courses for the state. But I believe we've run there twice this year, so it's not a question. And on our past success, a lot of these girls have run there previously, so it's not going to be a big change in their system just going up there and running at the state level.
Yeah, I mean, being there, like you said, twice already. I mean, it's good to get a feel for the course, but they're going to kill it.
Yeah, again, just up in Homedale and in the park, it's one of the most beautiful weekends because all the leaves are changing, so it almost looks like there's nature's fireworks going off behind when the kids are running.
That's great.
So you can't take a bad picture up there this weekend. So.
All right. Right before we get into our last section of the show, we are going to be doing our student athlete section. We will be bringing on the boys soccer goalie, Mr. Tyler Lucier.
But before we do that, we always have to get to sign us with Tiana. Don't forget about that. Or sign us with Shawn at this point.
Okay.
You got any
Well, a
side
couple
notes?
things are going to come in. We're ending up the we're ending up the fall season, and we're getting ready to start the winter season. Make sure you get all your physical information in. Make sure you complete your arbiter information so you're ready to go when tryouts start. One of the nice things about the school year and one of the nice things about my job is every 3 months my job changes because the season change. So coming out and seeing people finish up their fall seasons and then get excited for the winter season is always it's always a pleasure. We got swimming meeting I think tomorrow and a winter track meeting on Tuesday. So we're going to be starting sooner than you think. But for all of your students out there, please make sure you get your physical information in, okay, and please make sure you complete arbiter.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Klenk, and hopefully see you soon.
All right, thank you.
Get Tyler on after this short break.
Thanks.
And welcome back to Shawn on the Sidelines. We have both of our guests on right now, Tyler Lucier and Mr. Howe. Welcome, both of you. But we will be starting off with questions for Mr. Tyler Lucier. So, welcome.
Thank you.
How do you feel going from freshman goalie all the way to starting varsity goalie?
It was a long process that started probably right after my freshman season ended. It was a lot of conversations with Mike Sowers, the goalie trainer, and Travis Schmidt, who helped me a lot through this summer with training me and bringing me to another trainer and developing me to become what I am right now as a starting varsity keeper.
That's great to have a mentor there. Let's see. How do you, so Marley's, I also play soccer, but Marley's always expresses how much he cares about us being a family. He gives out family shirts every year. How do you express family to the team?
I express it by, talking to all my teammates, making a good connection, Shout out to my defense right now because they're my biggest brothers right now because they help me, pick me up, and defend me all throughout this game.
That's great. When did you start soccer?
I started in the summer before my 8th grade year. I had a couple of my teammates right now, Rafael Sanchez, Brian Police, and Patrick McVeigh helped me with becoming a goalkeeper and kind of teaching me the laws and the rules.
Wow. So you're still like a rookie in the game.
Yeah, I would consider myself that.
You're killing it. So when you started soccer not too long ago, what made you pick goalie?
I mean, honestly, I didn't really pick it. My 8th grade, or my soccer coach was just like, there's a spot open, and my friends were telling me since I'm a catcher for baseball, it's kind of the same thing, and I should go out for it, and that's what I did.
Wow. They chose great. For the recent games, you've been wearing all pink. Is that just for breast cancer awareness, or will this be something we'll be seeing throughout your playoff run?
It was definitely something for October for breast cancer awareness. It was started wearing it to represent my one friend's mom, Jack Rebatis, because she had breast cancer during my 8th grade season for soccer. So I wanted to kind of represent her and show it, and also just like to throw myself in. I like to have more than just one color.
Do you have a favorite pro soccer team?
Most likely just the Union. I'm still don't really know much about soccer and teams, but the Union is Philadelphia, so I gotta rep it.
All right. Do you have any player or too early in the stages?
I don't really know any players besides Manuel Neuer.
Well, there's one right there. But that will be it for Tyler Lucier, so thank you. And now over to Hal. Welcome, Hal.
Thanks, Chase.
What is your favorite sport to coach out of cross country, track, and basketball?
Good question. They are all very different groups of kids and a different dynamic, and definitely different to coach. I think that cross country is my favorite. Myself and the kids are all more fresh in the fall. In the winter it's cold and dark, and in the spring everybody's ready for summer. So just for everybody to be fresh in the fall, I think the attitudes are there. The weather is the best because it's warm, and then it starts to get a little chilly. So all those things kind of make, I think, the fall season my favorite.
Well, feels like you've been here forever, but here's a quick little flashback photo. Whoa. Ooh. Never changed. This is actually a picture from the yearbook of your first year teaching here.
Yeah.
What do you remember from your first year?
That's a good question. Not much. No, I do. It was 2021, 2022. I was definitely very nervous about teaching. My student teaching experience was really weird because of COVID. So I did a lot of student teaching online. So to be thrown into a class with all these kids in person for the first time was crazy. But I just remember Sterling being very welcoming, Miss Walsh and Miss Packer always being willing to help me out, and just being welcome to the castle as a family.
Speaking on that, did you choose Sterling, or did Sterling choose you?
I would say both. Obviously, they had to choose me for me to be able to choose them. So they chose me first, I guess. Out of all the jobs that I applied to and the interview processes I had, the administration here kind of seemed the most welcoming and the most genuine. So that's what made me lean towards Sterling.
All right, well, that's great. But let's hold it on over to your favorite event of the year, the Turkey Trot.
Yes.
Can you tell us your favorite memory from the Turkey Trot?
Sure. So before I get into that, let me do a shameless plug here.
Yeah, why not?
Turkey Trot is Thanksgiving morning every year. $10 cash or check. It helps support the cross-country team and the girls' spring track teams. It's our biggest fundraiser, so the more people, the better. My favorite memory, this is only our 3rd year. My favorite memory probably comes from the first year when we weren't sure that anybody was going to show up, and then just seeing the waves of people kind of getting out of their car with smiles on their faces. It was cold and windy, and it was a holiday, and we still had over 100 people show up. So just the feeling that I had to know that so many people were there to support us, I think was my favorite.
What made you start the turkey trot?
We want to spread the love of running. When I came in, there wasn't much of a cross-country team to build off of. We only had, I think, 13 kids. So now we're up to close to 40. And we're trying to spread the love of running to the community, to the people in the school, outside the school, in the surrounding towns. And I think that an event where everybody gets together on a holiday to be one big family and, see what they can do in a 5K is a good way to do that.
Well, I think it's working. How did you come up with the course?
That was a lot of trial and error. It's tough to do a 3-mile course around Sterling's campus. And trying to go off campus involves a lot of, paperwork and insurance things. So we tried to keep it on the campus. But just a lot of running around. For about 2 weeks last year, all of our practices involved the kids just running in circles around the school rather than going out on the streets. Came up with what we thought was the best possible course. The walking path helps, but maybe we'll change it up this year. Who knows?
All right. Going back to more school-related stuff, what made you want to be have you always wanted to be a chemistry teacher?
No, I struggled in chemistry the first time I took it as a sophomore. So if you're out there struggling in chemistry, you're not the only one.
Not me, though.
I took AP chemistry my senior year. I had a different teacher, and she kind of made me fall in love with it. So I think it was the teacher.
Well, I'm happy. You're a great teacher.
Thanks, Chase.
How do you feel about your cross-country runners' performances this year?
Oh, they've been phenomenal. Both the boys and the girls are qualified for the state championship this weekend, so that's the first time that's happened in almost a decade. And, whether you're an all-state runner or you're new to the sport figuring things out, it's all about you racing yourself and beating your time from the last meet. And all of them have done that time and time again. So I couldn't be prouder of them. We've been running since late June, training for this season, and the hard work has clearly paid off. They've put up some great times this year.
All right. Well, we need you to explain this photo right here. Is he good?
Yeah, he was all right. Not in that moment, he was not. But eventually, once he got up and he got his medal put around his neck, he was. So if you've ever run a race of any distance, you know this feeling, especially a race that is 3.1 miles long. That's Gio after he completed the course in 16 minutes and 40 seconds, which is really fast. He finished 9th overall in South Jersey Group 2, and I guess he took a little nap afterwards.
All right. How about this one? Just throwing them at you.
Yeah, man. That's Gio and Brady. Those have been our top 2 guys all year. So they like to go out and run the first 2 miles together, and then, they kind of go at it the 3rd mile. It's 2 miles of brotherhood and then 1 mile of competition, and carry each other to some very good races this year.
All right. Well, that will do it for today's episode of Silent on the Sidelines. Thank you again, Mr. Klenk and Coach Howe, for joining us today. For your latest news updates in Sterling sports, make sure you go follow Ghost Night Sports on Instagram. Our next show will be airing on who knows when, where we'll be diving into fall sports and bringing on more special guests. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, go Knights.